All right, so now we're headed to the dam. The most straightforward way is actually to follow the railroad. It's slightly less indirect, but more reliable to go along the riverbed there. It's a bit more windy. It's not as direct. Typically, I take the riverbed because after you get past the lake, there's no wolves until you get right up to the dam. And there's usually wolves all over the place along the railroad. But since I have 20 bullets and there's less animal spawns in the challenge scenarios, we'll try it. Aren't there a ton of beds in Coastal Highway? Yeah, there are. It's just a precaution in case I get caught in like a blizzard. I have to sleep in a cave or something. It's really one of the things you really don't want to have happen is to get caught in weather and not be able to sleep at all. In this challenge, it's probably a precaution I can do without, but it's one of those things that it's not going to kill me to bring that along. It is an extra 2 pounds, but I don't know. It's best to be prepared. If anything, I would drop some of the skins I don't need. In fact, I already made the pants. They take 3. I could drop one of these, right? The boots take 2. And we don't need 5 of these, do we? Let's actually drop one. 94% cured. This is less cured. Okay, we only need 4 of those. We need 4 of those. We have 4. I'm going to need a lot of the guts. I don't remember if we need 2 or 3 skins. I think 2. I'm probably not even going to use the boots if I make them. This is just for something to do. And we'll be able to get more. So let's actually drop those. Goodbye. Oh, now I can sprint. Look at that. Not very fast. Can you make fires on the ground? Yep, you can. Is that a dead guy? Or no, it's just a rock. We could get some extra feathers here, I guess. So we still have 12 hours of daylight, but we have a long way to go. With all the coffee, and as good as my clothing is and the difficulty, I don't think we'll have to make a fire unless the weather gets super bad. Which, I guess it could happen. We'll see. Empty. Yeah, we've been here. I'm just looking for fresh feathers, really. Alright, don't see any. That was weird. We were outside shooting at deer, and they disappeared. I haven't seen a single... Well, I guess aside from the birds, I haven't seen a single animal since then. Really bizarre. I wonder if there's some kind of bug. You know, I need to restart the game or something. No, never mind. There's a wolf right there. There's no bug. There's a wolf. I mean, there was a bug that I saw them despawn. Actually, we probably want to do it this way. If I miss with the rifle, we'll still get attacked. This is why I typically don't take the highway, because of doggies. Or the railroad, not the highway. What are my thoughts on Vex's custom Factorio map? I saw the video he posted. It's an interesting idea. We'll see where he goes with it. It was a very early version of it, so I expect it to change quite a bit. Don't you chase me! Hey! Hey! They typically spawn in groups of 4, so I'm looking for the other ones. I heard more than one howl. That might just be the game simulating the house. Because I only see one, unless they're up in the hills or something. You wish someone would make a hardcore cavern simulator? How would you survive in a cavern? Like, how would you see? Just to play, just to get started. I guess you would have to start out in a bioluminescent cavern or something. It could be interesting, I guess. The exploration would be fun, because it could get very confusing. And you could find like little shortcuts through little caves. I went spelunking once. One of my friends in college was like a trail guide or a tour guide or whatever for this cave system that we drove a few hours to go to. And some of it was extremely claustrophobic. Like, we had to squeeze through little tiny holes where I could barely fit. And we had to, like, pull ourselves through these holes. And then it would open into this huge cavern once we got past that. Like, if that little gap collapsed while we were in there, we would have died. Because there would be no way to get through. But it was a very cool experience, though. Caveman, not cavern. Oh. Whatever, a cave survival game would be cool. Caveman, okay, whatever. Cavern, better.
I'm gonna need to rest soon.
Hardcore cavern simulator. How long can you survive without going crazy? Yeah, exactly. I would like to see a game make use of an atlatl. A lot of games let you make spears, and then they let you make bow and arrow. But very few have that intermediary atlatl step. It looks kind of like a cabin right there, but I think that's just a rock. Pretty sure there's no cabin there. Blue Fuzzman, subscriber with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Is that a dog or a stump? It's one of those times where I'd like to have a pair of binoculars. Or maybe if you could find a scope and attach it to your rifle, that would be cool. There was like some kind of upgrade system. You could add random stuff, or you could add a bayonet. What if you could add a bayonet, like a handcrafted one or an improvised one, to your rifle to fend off wolf attacks? That would be cool. Nope, wrong button. We want to have this guy up. Okay, so wolves are semi-frequently found here. I'm not even cold. We're all the way totally drained, though, just from being weighed down by all this gear. That's why I made all the coffee. Okay, looks like no dogs. Unless Fluffy's inside. Okay, so here's the stuff we left here. We've got water, we've got a bunch of food, the other bedroll, a bunch of stuff I'm not going to take with me, I guess. Because of how much stuff I already have. Extra flares. I'm gonna take one flare. Or maybe that's... No, we're going to find more. Stop thinking like these items are scarce, because they're not. And then line it back up. You savage. Okay, so I left this nice scarf. But mine is fully repaired. So we don't really need it. Got tons of matches. In fact, more matches than I really need, but they don't weigh much. So I guess we just keep going. And leave all this stuff. Should I bring the soda? Because it's an extra source of water. Let's see how heavy I am if I pick these up. So now we're up to 90. Maybe I'll just drink one. And then we'll continue. Or I'll drink water, because will that use up more weight? We're going to find a lot of stuff where we're going. So, yeah, I don't need all this stuff. Let's get back down to, like, 88. In fact, let's drop one of these. All right, just random extra stuff. I don't need... Oh, an extra water. I've already dropped water. Yeah, all this extra stuff. I guess we're just... Oh, do I want the leather? I have 4. Yeah, I don't. All right. All that stuff. How's the whetstone durability compare? It might be higher, but all my tools are fully sharpened. And I've been finding whetstones left and right, so I actually don't care. The gear is so abundant on the difficulty level for the challenges that it's not even an issue, I don't think. We will probably find more. I could probably just drop it now and not worry about it. And the Bush is subscribed with Twitch Prime 2 months in a row. Another person that is also should have a much higher number next to their name if it was just using cumulative instead of sequential, or yeah. But thank you very much. And the Bushes fill my hunger bar. Yeah, I guess we could eat a little bit. Guess that. And you don't have to actually eat, like this has 700 calories, so I can hit escape there and it's got 175 left. Got a little bit of leftover deer meat or wolf meat or whatever it was. So we're on our way to number 7. Location number 7, but it's still kind of far away. All right. We have left Mystery Lake. All right, Raven Falls Railway Line Ravine. So we're in the Ravine area. This area is decently long. It'll take us a while to walk through here. There is, like, stuff to be found here. But I got so much stuff, I'm not even worried about it. We're just moving straight through. Like, there's a crash train and stuff like that. Although maybe if I see, like, some plants, I might grab those just because we're going for that, the achievement to harvest 25 of each plant type. Which I don't have a tracker for. I think we go kind of this way. But the map is not going to give us a choice anyway. Or no, maybe it is this way. I hear animals. Sounds like a deer. Galloping around like an idiot. Mystery Lake is definitely no longer a mystery. It's been, actually, it's been almost 2 months since the last update. I think they release updates basically every 2 months. Probably not, like, exactly every 2 months, but approximately every 2 months. I'm hoping for a new area with the next update. Probably won't be one, because they just released a new area. Oh, there's a wabbit! Probably will not be an update, or probably will not be an area. Oops, hitting the wrong button to change my weapon. The next, I think the next update is going to be weather effects and the cooking overhaul, hopefully. All right, so we're headed there. We have to cross that. Got to cross that tree. Pretty sure you're just missing, you're mostly missing Old Man's Beard. Oh, there's some. Yeah, let's grab the Old Man's Beard. The Old Man's Beard, I guess, is probably the hardest to find. It doesn't give you a tracker in game, so I don't know exactly what my numbers are at. By the way, I've been paying attention to the subreddit for this game, and someone posted an image. See this rock here? You can deploy a climbing rock here, and you can, like, there's a whole little area down here in this ravine you can get down to. See, there's like the trains, and there's a cave and stuff. And some players like to go down and live there for a while, just because it's a pleasant place to live. I've never actually been down there because I think you need that rope to get down there. And I don't carry around ropes because they're so heavy. But I would like to explore it at some point, just to say I did it. So I think there are 4 plant types. There's this, there's the rose hips, there's the mushrooms. I've harvested a decent amount of those. And then what else? I think there's a 4th type. Oh, the cattails. And I can keep track of the cattails just based on how many I have on me, right? Rose hips. Okay, don't fall. Don't get windy. All right, we made it. That's not the really sketchy one. Seems like a long climb, so anything will be stuck at the bottom. Like, you won't be able to carry it out. You could do multiple trips, I guess. You're right, that does seem like a long climb. So you would have to be relatively unencumbered. It's interesting that little spots like that are in the game, though. You've been throwing cattails away, have I? Oh, maybe I have. I know I've got, in my inventory right now, I got 10. And I've eaten a few. So that means I need maybe 10 more max. And there should be a decent amount in Coastal Highway to pick up. I've picked up a pretty good amount of mushrooms and rose hips. And just from the amount of, we can actually calculate, because these take 3 each, so that's 15. And I've got 5 on me, so that's 20 old man's beards I've harvested. So, and I haven't dropped any of those, I'm pretty sure, because they're light and they make such good bandages. So, that's actually a pretty neat way to calculate that, I guess. So 5 more of those. There are mushrooms over here. I guess we'll go grab. Maybe I'll just drop them. Oh, I'm exhausted. Let's have some coffee. How about that? Makes me less thirsty as well. I'm going to drink 2. It's the way I do it. Leave your heavy stuff at the top of the rope. Yeah, but anything you find at the bottom, you've got to climb back out with. But if you did it right, like, you could leave a stockpile of food at the top, stuff like that, and I don't know if there's a place to sleep overnight nearby there, but I don't know, maybe you could do it in a few days or something. More mushrooms. The Coastal Highway should have enough old man's beard for me to get up to 25. For sure. I'm probably already at 25 for the mushrooms. There's a cave. And a wabbit. You keep thinking the mushrooms are meat. Well, they're delicious, just like meat, so I guess that's kind of similar. All right, onward we go. I've got 3 cups of coffee left. After this, we got to cross this, then we'll be going downhill for a bit, and then along the coast for a bit. There's a whole bunch of places to loot in Coastal Highway. I mean, a stupid amount of buildings. But we have to go, actually, I'm just remembering now, we've got to cross this bridge, go through this tunnel, and then we've got to cross the sketchy part of the bridge, and then we'll actually be at Coastal Highway. So 8 hours of daylight, that should be enough, though. I think we can make it. Oh, I can sprint again. Oh, I guess because I'm less tired because of the coffee. I also reduced my weight by drinking the coffee. I guess I'll just keep harvesting all the plants I see until I get that achievement. Because you never know. Hard to really say.
I need to find a place to rest.
Oh, you tired again? Getting tired there, buddy? You wish they would add as an April Fool's joke the Holy Grail killer rabbit for that day. That would be funny, except you have to remember that some people, like, they play their character over a long period of time. So what if they're, like, on Interloper and they're on day, like, 102 and they just decide to load up the game on April 1st? And your April Fool's joke kills their character that has survived 102 days because of your joke. That could piss off a lot of people. Maybe it's kind of like funny for you and not for them. Maybe after it killed you, it would say, just kidding, and you would get your life back. Maybe then it would be okay, and you could laugh about it. If it did just outright kill you, that might be like one of those things that makes people uninstall the game on the spot. Like, all right, I'm done with this. Enough is enough. Survived the snow. I've survived the starvation. I've had parasites and frostbite. And I've bled to death multiple times, but your killer rabbit is just one step too far. Alright, so here's the sketchy part. Focus. Here we go. Focus. So it is, you see holes in the railroad tracks here. It's very possible to fall through those. There's not any kind of like invisible barrier keeping you from falling through. Ah, sound effects not helping. So you definitely want to walk along the actual rail. There is some forgiveness to it, so as long as it's like mostly centered on your screen, you're okay. But this is a spot where we could die, particularly right here. Ugh, this always gives me the willies. I get a little bit tense and my heart rate increases. Ugh. I hate this part. Okay. Whew, we did it. Technically, that spot's not too hard, but the immersion factor just always... That spot really gives me a bit of vertigo. I've never fallen there. I know it's very easy to fall there, though. I mean, I've fallen through the hole in the barn using the workbench like 3 or 4 times. And it's just like a hole in the little mezzanine floor thing. You think a bear could chase you on that? I've never seen any bears spawn in that spot, so I'm not sure if it's possible to have a predator there. I'm not done with Fallout 4. Will it be the next stream? I'm not sure. Imagine that in VR. Yeah, no thanks. All right, so we made it to Coastal Highway. Let's have some more coffee. Oh, we got 4 more. All right, let's have 2. And my other bar is basically full. So that's good. Temperature's good. There is a lot of stuff to be found in these little buildings, but I don't think I'm going to loot them because it would just weigh me down more, and it's stuff I don't need. Like, what are we going to find? More food? I have tons of food right now. And once we get to the garage, there will be stuff nearby to find. The main thing I want to do in these next 2 locations is kill a bear. If we can do that without dying. If we can do that, that should be the last like hugely risky thing. I also wanna craft a wolf coat and the rabbit mittens once our skins all cure up. Any new DLC for Fallout 4? I think they're done with DLC. I don't think they've announced anymore. I mean, I'm sure people will make like mod stuff, content patches, mods that have content, added content in them. Yeah, the weather's quite nice, so we just need to not get attacked. We've got, as far as I can tell from the list, we've got 2 locations here. We need to go to Quonset Garage and the Abandoned Lookout. Oh, are these organized by area? Camp, office, trapper's cabin, forestry. Okay, these 4 are in Mystery Lake. Barn and radio control huts. And the rural store, those are all in Pleasant Valley. Skeeter's Ridge must be in Pleasant Valley. Quonset Garage, Abandoned Lookout are where we are now. Coastal Highway. Mountaineer's Hut is Timberwolf Mountain. The lighthouse and the church are in Desolation Point. The coal mine is in between here and Pleasant Valley. And the Crumbling Highway is a connecting zone between here and Desolation Point. Okay. That's good. I didn't know where that spot was, or I didn't even know what zone to look for it in. I guessed it would be in Timberwolf Mountain or Pleasant Valley, but it's good to recognize that the list is grouped by area, so at least we know where to look for it at. Far Harbor was your favorite? Yeah, that's my favorite of the DLCs as well. I found Far Harbor way better than Nuka-Cola, than Nuka World. I like the areas in Nuka World. The quests I found very boring. The area is very cool to explore, but the quests were lackluster after the cool content in Far Harbor. The quests just didn't seem very fleshed out. They seemed very cookie cutter. All right, do we want more saplings? Maybe we do. If these are birch saplings, we can look in this cabin here. There's a deer. Do we try to shoot the deer? Damn it, I keep doing that. To switch my weapon, I hit 3 instead of 2. See how close you get? I mean, he's pretty small on my screen. Maybe we can corral him up in these hills. Where are you gonna go, deer? Ow! Did I hit him? That was a miss.
I think I need to lay down.
Dude, you're fine. You got deer to shoot at for no good reason, wasting the day and your energy when you're trying to get to the next location before the sun sets. What are these? Birch? How long is that going to take? Kind of hard to say. It doesn't say, does it? Doesn't seem like very long. Maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You can't wait to see what I decide to do about the Institute. Yeah, I'm a bit conflicted about which faction to follow. I didn't release that. Is there a maximum amount of time you can have an arrow drawn? There must be. Okay, let's stop getting distracted here. I want to kill this guy. But another time, dear. Another time. A lot of mushrooms. I would guess that I would finish of the like the Harvest 25 list. Probably finish the mushrooms the easiest. I think I've harvested a lot of rose hips, but you get a lot of rose hips per bush you harvest, so maybe I'm not done with that one yet.
I could barely walk with
Oh,
this
yeah.
much gear.
Oops. Okay. Fine. There's a hatchet there. This is, by the way, this is the location I found the hatchet in the whiteout challenge. It was the last thing I found, and it was almost the last building in the entire zone I searched. Apparently, that's a spot to find.
That'll come in handy.
That's a spot to find hatchets, which I never knew about. Simple bark. More coffee. I just used up all my coffee. I'm actually going to take that. I like peanut butter. Okay, let's leave that. There's a jerky in there. There's a flare. Let's be on our way. All right, down the hill we go. Pretty hard to get lost here. You just go downhill till you hit the coast, then you follow the highway. This zone is probably the easiest zone to learn. It's really easy to navigate. You're either walking uphill or downhill, or one way along the coast or the other way. Even when the visibility gets super bad, this is a good starter zone, except for the wolves. There's more wolves than in Mystery Lake, and there's a lot more stuff to loot here too. Okay, get a move on, guy. Did I ever do the Cabot House questline in Fallout 4? I'm not sure. I've done a lot of random quests. Some a lot of quests I've picked up and haven't finished. I'm not sure. Doesn't ring a bell, but I might have and forgot. Uh-oh. Weather! Okay, so right now we're just above the coastal highway. The eponymous, right down there. If I follow this road, it should dead end right into it. I feel like I have to shout through the blizzard. Okay, let's drink more coffee. There's usually a corpse right down here, but it's not important. Not important. We're getting a little bit wet, but my clothing has pretty good waterproof value. Your problem with Fallout 4 is that the faction stuff is too linked with the rest of the game. So you mean you have to do the faction stuff to finish the main story? Yeah, I guess I can see that. With the way the factions are written, it makes sense. I've never really had an issue with it. If you want to do the main storyline in like Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, I seem to remember you have to do a certain amount of the mage, like the mage quest line. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Because you have to, there's also a section where you've got to get some of the different houses to support you. But I could be remembering that wrong. I think you have to do some of the Thieves Guild stuff too. At least a few quests, from what I remember. But it's true that you can abandon them after you've done those first few. All right, it's -9 degrees. It's cold. Visibility is... See, even with the visibility as bad as it is, I can still navigate this area because of how easy it is. Now we're at the road. We can duck into here for a minute. There's this building and there's another one over there. The log sort. All right, we got some boots I don't want. I don't even know what I would take from here. I guess, is there a toilet? Do we want toilet water? 87? I guess so. A lot of toilets in this place.
I'm not gonna
You
be
can
able to carry this
you can
load
live a
for much
long
longer.
time just on toilet water. All right, we've got food, which I really don't need to be carrying. Lantern fuel, whatever. Yeah, there's probably no point to looting this. I mean, there's stuff here I could take, but it's too heavy right now. Guess we'll just try to get to the garage and drop stuff off. We might have enough cured stuff. We can start crafting something right away. And there's another building over there, but I'm already pretty encumbered. We've got like maybe 4 hours of daylight left to get over there. This looks like a nice vacation spot. I'm pretty sure this area is supposed to be a vacation spot. Not in the winter, obviously, but in the summer. Although it does have ice fishing, so maybe it is a winter spot. I don't know. If you're really into that kind of thing, living in the depths of the Canadian wasteland, in the heart of darkness, aka winter. The spot we're heading to almost always has wolves, though, which is the downside to it. Every area that makes a good house or a good base of operations usually has a downside. Like the camp office is a really nice place, but the bed is upstairs. The trapper's cabin is nice, but it's kind of far away from everything else. The Quonset garage is nice, except the lighting's bad and there's always wolves around. I don't really think there's an ideal perfect place to stay. The lighthouse is pretty good, but it's a pain in the butt to get back up to it. Do torches go out in a storm like this? Let's find out, actually. I need to know that. Oh, look at that. It says too windy to light. Okay, what if I get up next to a rock and I get the shelter thing? I wanted to experiment with this, actually, because I wanted to know if it was worth it to drop the lantern to carry this, because this is much lighter than a lantern. It's cool in this game. You can use you can get out of the wind and use shelter. Let's see if it blows out now that it's lit. Oh yeah, okay. So it looks like the lantern is going to be important. The major area I'm going to need the light for, the mobile light source, is for the cave. Like, any interior spot is not going to have wind. So I don't need to worry about things blowing out. So maybe it's still worth it to just use torches. Is there about a quarter of the weight of a lantern? Stuck in here for a second. Yeah, look at, oh my god. Yeah, I'm quite wet. No, don't do that. Open the glove box. All right, we're gonna be kind of slow, but we're pretty close to where we're going, so I'm just gonna deal with it. TM. The storm lantern warms you up. I think the torches do too. I haven't tested the exact values for those. Like, maybe the lantern is better and it's heavier, so like every item has its downsides, which is good. The lantern is heavy, and I don't think we really need it. If I'm trying to travel light, it's probably best to use the torches. Find a bear pelt in the glove box. Yeah, right. Usually you just find like sometimes a newspaper, sometimes soda, sometimes a candy bar or something. It would be neat. You know what would be cool is if they introduced trees falling over. Wouldn't that be cool? If you happen to be out in a storm like this and the super hard blizzard hits and one of these trees just falls over right in front of you. Oh my god. Would that freak you right out or what? That would be cool. I think they should actually add that. And then maybe you could, if you had a hacksaw, you could saw off some of the limbs for firewood. That would be cool. Okay, I'm not sure if there actually will be wolves in this weather. But we'll try to be prepared for them. That's where we're going right there. There's almost always wolves here. Like, almost always. I don't see any. I guess not. Maybe they made a little snow shelter for themselves. All right, we made it. Let's drop our stuff off. I see soda and stuff. Let's drop stuff off and then come back. Someone noted, I think there was a comment in a video, that there's better lighting in this room to store your stuff. But I always like to store my stuff next to the bed. So first off, let's take off my wet clothing. I'm not going to sleep though, so maybe it's not totally necessary. I don't have any like medical conditions imminent, but even with all that off inside here, it still feels like 37. So I'll just leave those off while we dry out. That's cured. That's cured. You know what? Oh, these are all cured. I want to drop the stuff that's not cured.